Hey, how y'all doing, man? My name's Alan Thompson, and really I just want to thank God for the opportunity, not only to introduce myself, but more importantly to introduce you guys to the Faith Speaks podcast. Welcome, this is our first video. We just wanted to give you guys an overall view of what the channel is going to be about and what we're going for on this channel. And you might ask yourself, well, why is it titled Faith Speaks? Really, it comes from the idea that our faith in God at some point should cause us to open our mouth and say something. You know, a lot of the times when we are new in our faith and we're growing in our faith and we're just starting to get closer to God, we begin to consume content, we begin to listen, and we're doing a lot of consuming, and over time we can get stuck in that phase of just consuming, where we're just eating, we're just drinking. But at some point, just picture a cup being filled with some water. Turn the faucet on, it's filling up. At some point, it's going to begin to overflow. And what's overflowed out of that cup is that wisdom, that knowledge, that understanding, that encouragement that was meant to be poured into somebody else's cup. But instead, we kept consuming until we were overflowing. So now all that wisdom, that knowledge, that understanding that's spilt out on the countertop or spilt out on the table, on the floor, God comes in with that bounty paper towel and says, okay, let me go ahead and clean this up. And that paper towel is somebody else that's soaking up that wisdom, that knowledge, that understanding that overflowed in our cup, that we actually didn't pour out into them like we were supposed to. But God said, let me take this person and let me soak this up so that it's not waste. So that this is not just wisdom wasted, understanding wasted, knowledge, encouragement that was wasted. In His goodness, He does that. Because a lot of the times, although maybe we had a urge to pour out into someone, to reach further with our faith and allow more people to hear us, we continue to consume. We may have that urge and we say, and then we just go back to consuming. And we begin to overflow. And although God in His goodness allows that not to go to waste, it's not because of our obedience. It was because of His goodness that that person received what we wasted. So our mission on this channel is to inspire people to, again, allow their faith in God to inspire them to open their mouths and speak, to reach further and speak. Because yes, it's good for us to talk with the person we may see at the grocery store, with our loved ones, our close ones that we live with, that we see every day. But sometimes, in some situations, God is calling us to speak further, to put our reach out there further and allow Him to do the rest. He's not asking us to figure out what's going to happen next and who's going to watch it and are they going to be receiving actually anything from this and who am I to speak to this. All God is saying is, I put a message on your heart, I put an urge in your spirit, put that out there and allow me to fill in the blanks everywhere else. And one of the main things I want you guys to take from this is this podcast, this channel isn't about being perfect. We're not here to paint a perfect picture, but here to show that through our imperfections, God fulfills His perfection. So it's not about us showing that, oh, everything's going to be perfect, everything's always sunshine and roses. It's about us showing that even through those dark times, God is still there with us. Even in the good times, to not forget God, but to praise Him in every single thing, to be thankful, no matter if the situation seems good or bad. Count it all joy, knowing that through it all, God is shaping us. He's molding us. He's building us into something better, for something better. You know, this channel was birthed from the same thing that our mission is based upon, causing people to allow their faith in God to cause them to speak, inspire them to speak, open their mouth and say something. It was inspired from the same exact thing. I was reluctant to start this channel, although I had an urge to start it probably for close to a year now. But what did I keep doing? I kept consuming. Again, there's nothing wrong with you consuming, but at some point, you should begin to pour out. You should begin to pour into somebody else's cup the things that God has been pouring into you. Everything that He gives you isn't just for you. It's for you to be a blessing and an encouragement to someone else. So me being reluctant to start this channel is what birthed the actual name Faith Speaks Podcast. You see how that works? The thing that I was doing that was causing me to overflow and spill turned itself upside down to be a blessing in naming this podcast the Faith Speaks Podcast. In our faults, in our imperfections, God fulfills his perfection. So we're going to end it on that, man. Hopefully this message was an encouragement to you. If you've been dealing with, the imposter syndrome, and I've had this urge to kind of, step out a little bit on my faith, but I haven't done it, or speak a little further, reach a little further with speaking about God, but I haven't done it just yet for whatever the reasons may be. Hopefully this is an encouragement to you. And yours may not be to start a YouTube channel, may not be to start a podcast, it may not be to do it on social media. Maybe it's to start a church, or maybe it's to do it in a different way. But just seek God, that your ears, your eyes, your heart, your mind would be aligned with him, that when he speaks, we be able to take action on it. I thank you guys for tuning in, man. Y'all stay tuned, because we will have a lot of different content dropping. I won't be on this channel alone. My wife as well, Kai, we actually just got married about a month ago, but she will also be I guess you could say sort of a co-host, or not really a co-host. Will kind of just be, it'll be both of us on the channel, and I'll also bring my parents in from time to time as well. They're pastors, so they'll be giving their perspectives and their outlooks on different things here and there. Hopefully we'll be able to bring other guests on throughout the course of this channel. Again, I don't know exactly what God has for this, but I just want to be obedient, and I think this intro video was something that I was even holding off on after I held off for about a year on creating the actual channel itself, and starting to put content out. And again, hopefully this will be an inspiration of someone out there to do the same. So yeah, man, I appreciate y'all tuning in. We'll catch y'all in the next one. If y'all have any suggestions for content or topics that you may want us to touch on, you can definitely drop those down there in the comments. So we thank you guys. Y'all stay tuned. We got a lot of good things coming, man. See y'all in the next one.
Trust, and you gave me your mind. Show me the truth. You said seek and you'll find. We gon' do this all the time. We gon' do this all the time.